everybody, this is SaberX coming to you live with another review for the Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsians Series by Creative Beast Studio and David Silva. And today we are going to be looking at not one, but two, count them, two of the next action figures in the series, which are both the Juvenile Centrosurus apertus. We have the mainline variant and the Kickstarter-Exclusive Monoclonius variant. So here they are. There they are. And before we take a look at these figures, let's take a quick look at the packaging for both of them. So, moving them aside, first we'll take a look at the Monoclonius variant. The Monoclonius crassus, I should say properly. So, here it is. And this one is actually this is actually a tribute to the old Dino Riders action figures. And as you can see, it's beautifully done. So there you are on the back. On the back we also have this beautiful illustration along with a look at the figure itself. And Ezra Tucker was the artist for this. As I've said before, the Beasts of the Mesozoic series, they had multiple artists for the Ceratopsians for the lineup. So, inside of that box, along with the figure itself, comes this nice little information card, as you can see here, with a view of the figure on the back, and all these wonderful facts. And inside that package comes the ever so important instructions on how to put the tail into the base of the hips. This is true for all of them. You have to heat them up with a hairdryer or in hot water to properly expand the plastic in the tail, so that way it'll fit snugly and go on easily over the dumbbell joint at the base of the tail. Otherwise you're going to get frustrated and it could possibly break the figure. So don't do that. Listen to the instructions. Read them. And moving on. We have the second packaging for the... we have the second set of packaging for the mainline Centrosaurus. And this time the artist is, of course, Raul Ramos. So there you have that. And unlike with the Kickstarter exclusive figure, the mainline Centrosaurus figure, its coloration was inspired by Phil Tippett's animated stop-motion film Prehistoric Beast. So that's a nice little tribute to that little film right there. And inside of this packaging for the mainline figure, you get this beautiful diorama, which you can put behind the figure for added effect. You do not get that with the Monoclonius. On the back of that, like with the other one, you also get this list of figures for the lineup. And of course, this amazing little factoid page sheet. So all the figures for Wave 1, plus the factoid sheet, and inside is, of course, the set of instructions for adhering the tail, just like with the first one, as you can see. And, of course, this awesome little information card with the image of the figure on the back, and, of course, the factoids. So, there you have that. So both of them are exactly the same in that regard. And let's move on to the figure itself. Well, the figures themselves, shall we? So here we have the Monoclonius crassus and Centrosaurus apertus juvenile. Now, technically, these are both the same animal, but this is the variant based off the original thought that Monoclonius was a different animal that was smaller than Centrosaurus, and this one is, of course, us knowing that Centrosaurus is not the same. And I absolutely love the colors on these. These are perfect tributes to the Dino Riders and Prehistoric Beast. The Prehistoric Beast figures that Phil Tippett made. And just incredible figures. I love the paint jobs on these. This one I kind of like to think of as the juvenile color phase for Centrosaurus, where it stands out against the color phase of the adult. But this one, the Dino Riders variant, which is of course Monoclonius, which is known as Monoclonius for the toy line. This one is actually closer to the adult color scheme for the Centrosaurus adult that will be in Wave 2. So I kind of like to think that this guy is starting to mature a little faster than this guy. So they kind of look, like they're siblings that are just a little bit different in regards to age. Age one's starting to mature a little faster than the other. But I absolutely just love the color schemes on them. I mean, look at that blue on the underbelly, the dark black into green, and just fantastic job with this. I love this color scheme. And of course, I love this brown color scheme just as much. It just so much starker, and it feels like it would blend in with a darker forest than the other one would. This one might look good in a lush green jungle, but it might camouflage well in a lush green jungle, but this guy looks like he would be more at home in a dark, temperate forest. So Now, like all the smaller 1/18th scale Ceratopsian figures, these guys have 19 points of articulation. Unlike the larger figures, they do not have a posable tongue, so not going to focus too much on that. But all their articulation is the same for both figures. So the jaws, they move. They can close and open, like so. This one, he doesn't close his jaws quite as much as the green one does. And I'll need to work on that, I think. But the jaws close. The head on both figures turns left, right, up, and down, like so. So, again, left, right, up. This guy's got a little bit of a clearance issue in some respects, but up and down, like that. The shoulders on the arms and legs on both figures can do full 360s at the shoulder, though I don't recommend it because of the clearance issues from the shoulder pads right here. The arms can move about 90-degree bend. They can bend straight out like that. The wrists also have got some nice motion here. You can go that far forward, that far back, left, right, and so on and so forth. The hind leg can also do that, where it can do the full 360, though I don't recommend it because of the clearance issues. So full 360, bends this much at the knee, that far back. Not quite 90, but pretty close. Ankle can go about that much. Back out, can go back in that much. Knee can straighten about this much. Like that. So just, there you go. Far straighter. Gonna go far straighter. And of course the feet, they got this nice little tilt, and they can go about this far forward and this far back. So nice little bit of motion there. And of course the torso can move up and down, left, not very much because of the clearance issues caused by the hips, and right. Yeah, again, they can't really do that very well because of the hips. And of course the tail can move up, down, right, and left. And this is, again, true for both figures. So, torso this way, and this guy actually the brown figure actually has a much tighter set of joints than the green one. And mainly because I've been playing with the green one a bit more. He can do the same type of motion in all his joints. And again, he's got some pretty tight joints. I gotta loosen him up a bit more. Otherwise, he's gonna cause me no end of problems. Yeah. So, be sure when you get these figures, you loosen all those joints, because otherwise they're gonna give you a hard time. I mean, really. Yeah, he's hard to bend. Very, very hard to bend. And with this figure. So, yeah, be sure, absolutely sure, that you loosen those joints a bit. Because otherwise it's going to cause you some stress. Yeah. Just, again, these are incredible, incredible figures, and I really love them, though. Yeah, and I noticed something interesting about these figures, too. Something that actually lines up with what we know about Centrosaurus in general. And that is the horn on this Centrosaurus, the brown one. It actually is a little higher up on this figure than it is on this figure for the right upper horn. So that is actually something you would see in a real Centrosaurus, because we have so many skeletons of Centrosaurus that we know there was a lot of individual variation in both the shape and positioning of their horns, particularly on the frill and the nose. So, yeah, that absolutely looks like something you'd really see in real life. So, yeah, just really, really cool. Now, Centrosaurus is actually one of the most common dinosaurs that we know of from the late Cretaceous, about 75 million years ago. It was basically the wildebeest of Western North America during that period, during the late Cretaceous, the Campanian stage. And there are actually two species of Centrosaurus. There are Centrosaurus apertus and Centrosaurus nasicornis. Now, Centrosaurus apertus is one of the better known ones. I mean, we know both species very, very well, but this one is the one that is probably the most famous. And of course, they've appeared in Planet Dinosaur. They've appeared in all sorts of nature documentaries and books otherwise. And yeah, we know that this was a dinosaur, this was a ceratopsian that stereotyped the idea that these animals lived in herds. This is the one that really showed us ceratopsians could live in large groups. But yeah, they were migratory as well, and many of the bone beds that are known for Centrosaurus show they often crossed rivers, and the individuals that weren't able to make it across, they often ended up getting swept away in flash floods and then later scavenged by predators such as Gorgosaurus and Daspletosaurus, which would have been their main enemies. They also lived alongside Chasmosaurus, which is one of their relatives. More distant relatives, I should say. It's a Chasmosaurine. These are Centrosaurines, and the very dinosaurs that give their name to that branch of the Ceratopsid family tree. Pretty much anything that's a Centrosaurine is closer related to Centrosaurus than it is to something like Triceratops. Anything that is closer to Chasmosaurus is a Chasmosaurine and is therefore closer related to that. So, now you know. But yeah, Centrosaurus is just such a cool animal. Yeah, we have specimens in museums from all different ages of these dinosaurs, and yeah, they were just incredible. And it's also interesting to note that later on, after Centrosaurus had evolved, it was eventually replaced a few 100,000 years later, evolution-wise, by Styracosaurus, which is not quite as large as an adult Centrosaurus, but certainly large enough. Centrosaurus is actually a little bit larger than Styracosaurus. But, yeah, just amazing, amazing things. And when I get the adult Styracosaurus to review for you guys, I'm going to also showcase it with these juveniles to show just how big, comparison-wise, they could actually get to compared to the juveniles you see here. Now, in regards to measurements, both of these figures measure in at roughly 10.5 inches long, which is about the same size as the Chasmosaurus I showed you in the last video. But they are not as tall as the Chasmosaurus. They are approximately 4 3/4 inches high. Hey, at the top of the frill, maybe a little higher, because this one has his neck higher up. That's, yeah, close to that. This one of them's got his head a little lower, but yeah, roughly about that at large. And yeah, Styracosaurus, Centrosaurus, I should say, is a little bit smaller than the Chasmosaurus in regards to height, because the Chasmosaurus, he was almost he was about 5 inches tall, maybe even a little over 5 1/4, or at the top of the frill. But these guys, nowhere near as tall as that, because they got shorter frills. But roughly about the same size, and similar build. But yeah, just an amazing, amazing figure. I mean, I love what they did for this. And yeah, as I said, I can't wait to show you all 3 of these Centrosaurs together. The 2 juveniles here, and the adult, which is so much larger. It's like 16 inches long. Oh. Yeah, I'll basically have a small herd of these dinosaurs together once I have all 3. But yeah, the blue variant, the Monoclonius crassus variant, I should say, that was a Kickstarter-Exclusive. You can't get these other than by pre-ordering them, and unfortunately, once you pre-ordered them on BackerKit or on Kickstarter, once you ordered them on Kickstarter for the campaign, it's limited number. So I am one of the few who actually ended up getting the Monoclonius. So, the Monoclonius variant of Centrosaurus, yeah, I'm one of the few who owns it. So, you're not going to be able to get this one. But you can get the mainstream Centrosaurus juvenile variant, which is based off Prehistoric Beast in regards to its color scheme. You can get that for about $50. It was $48 on BackerKit when it was available for pre-order, but now that it's for sale on the Creative Beast website, it is approximately $50. So it's not the most expensive, but it is a fair-priced figure. So if you really want one of the more unusual Ceratopsians that just kind of stands out, this is definitely one of the ones I would recommend getting, because Centrosaurus is pretty famous. It is uniquely shaped, and yeah, I love the design for this. It's just an amazing tribute to the real animal, because that is essentially what Centrosaurus. This is essentially what Centrosaurus looked like. Just so cool. Oh, and again, this is not just the only figure for Centrosaurus in the toy line. We're going to be getting the adult variant as well. So Oh, when that comes out, and you get at the juvenile variant, you can also get its parent with it and have them be a herd, which is what you can also do for Triceratops as well. So, yeah, I absolutely recommend this figure to anyone who's interested in it. So this is Saber Rex signing off, saying, you're never too old to play with toys. Be a toy nerd, be proud of it, thank you, and have a good day. See you next time.